Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be about frost damage and winter damage on subtropical tropical fruit trees in Melbourne. Let's have a look and see what kind of damage we received here over winter on the tropicals. This is a lamb Hass avocado, which I just showed you the fruit down below. Usually grows down below. And where the damage usually occurs is at the top. So this is what the top looks like, the leaves, and the very top up here. I can't reach up there, but I can show you these leaves here, which are facing the open sky. You can clearly see not only are the leaves perfect, completely undamaged, but it's also flowering for summer. So we're starting off with the avocados, just to show you evidence of no damage whatsoever over winter for these guys, all around, not just one side, all around. The tree basically looks like it's sitting in Hawaii. This here is the Hawaiian guava, speaking of Hawaii, and it's pink inside, a pink flesh guava, and it didn't really get much damage either. Now, don't confuse cold damage with leaf drop, okay? The guava drops its leaves around now in early spring. So all these old leaves, these red ones and the green ones, which will turn red eventually, you can see the red coming, all these old leaves are going to drop, and it happens gradually, just like I showed you in the video with the Indian white. They're the new leaves coming, and they're going to replace these old red leaves. So is that winter damage? No. It's just a transition from one season to the next. And we still have some fruit left from winter. This is a winter bearing guava, just like the white one. And there's no damage on this one either. Don't be fooled by the color of the leaves. Yeah, so there's a new shoots coming. Exactly the same as the white. No damage at all. So that's what you can expect from a subtropical guava in Melbourne. This one is 7 years old. Okay? It's grown really well. This is the subtropical citrus called pomelo. We still have a few left. Got over 50 pomelos of this in winter. And likewise, it's getting new shoots like all the citrus. Except this one here is a bit more sensitive to cold than oranges and lemons. And yet, even so, there's no cold weather damage at all. All there is new shoots, new shoots, new shoots, new shoots everywhere, right to the top. And this tree is also around 7 years old. So most of my tropicals are between 5 and 10 years old. So that's the pomelo. No damage at all. Over there is Cherimoya, which is closely related to custard apple, just a bit more cold tolerant. And that one did get some cold damage right at the end of winter, like about a month ago in August. and I can show you here with a zoom, just on the tips. Really, only the those leaves there that you see, and maybe the tips of those stems at the top. Now the yellow leaves, it's just like the guava. It's dropping its leaves for new leaves. That's not that's not coming from any cold damage, cold related weather. Just dropping its leaves. Now this larger Cherimoya, this one here is completely unaffected by tip burns. It might have 2 or 3 leaves that got burnt, but really 99.9% unaffected by winter. And again, the yellow leaves are because of leaf drop coming up. Leaf drop here on the Cherimoya and custard apples. And this tree has just skyrocketed in the last 2 years. I can't even see the top anymore. It's 10 years old. And I'm coming from behind. No damage at all, guys. So yes, you can grow Cherimoya and custard apple in Melbourne without being concerned about the cold in winter. The key though is protection in the first 2 or 3 years. This one here is one of the easiest of all subtropical fruits to grow in a temperate climate like Melbourne, San Francisco, Auckland, and other similar areas. It's the loquat, the good old loquat. 1000% winter proof. Look at that. I've got a whole forest of loquats. That one there is almost 30 years old, and this one is only 5 years old. I planted that from a seed. You can do that too. Just grab a seed, put it in a small pot, let it grow. The following year, make the pot bigger, and then the third year, put her in the ground. That's what I did, and I got that the third year. That easy. Or you can go to the nursery and buy one ready to go. So any winter damage? Let's have a look. Nope. All I see is tropical, let's see, tropical leaves, just the tropics. It's like I'm in Townsville. Nope. No damaged branches, leaves, nothing. There you go. Easy. Okay, we're in the front yard now. This guy here is called a white sapote. If you've never heard of it, that's all right. I had never heard of it either until I, got into doing this and researching and reading. It's basically an amazing fruit which everyone in Melbourne must grow. Everyone in southern Australia, actually, from Brisbane all the way down to Tasmania. Yeah, it'll grow in Tasmania too. Very cold hardy, 0 signs of damage from winter. Yes, it's dropping its leaves and getting new leaves, like many of the trees do, including tropical trees. So as far as damage, I can't find any. But what I can find is fruit. Look at that, it's fruiting. These guys are ready in April and May in Melbourne, as far as the fruit. And man, are they good. You won't believe how good these are. Look at that. These guys flowered over winter, just like the loquat. Similar to the loquat. They flower in winter and set fruit at the end of winter, and no damage at all. 0. And I've got 7 different varieties of this tree. So from going from not knowing anything about it to being a master of it. White sapote from Mexico. And here's the other white sapote I have. And this one is the biggest. And only starting to fruit now. So, there you go. There's the fruit there. So, very easy to grow this. It's as easy as a loquat or easy as a orange tree to grow. But it falls into the subtropical category because of the fruit. I'm going to talk more about the fruit taste in another video. Today we're doing any winter damage on our subtropical tropical trees over winter. Well, instead of being damaged, this guy was busy flowering and setting fruit. No damage at all. This one is not even dropping leaves. Very clean looking. And huge. It's getting bigger every year. This little guy here is a very slow grower for me. I don't know how it is for other growers in Melbourne, if anyone else is growing it, that is. It's a subtropical fruit tree called Wampee. It's spelled W-A-M-P-E-E. Wampee or Wampee. It's basically part of the citrus family or related to the citrus family, but tastes nothing like citrus. It's a must-have for those who like to have it all, or as a novelty. I have it as a novelty. Again, I'm going to talk about taste in another video, but basically there's no damage at all. None. All there is flowers coming and fruit set on its way right across. There you go. So that's the Wampee from China. And next to the Wampee I have this guy. Who recognizes this fruit? I bet you don't know what this fruit is unless you're watching from Queensland. And even from there, most people don't know what it is unless you happen to be, you know, a tree nut. This is called a chocolate pudding fruit tree. Chocolate pudding fruit. And most people know it as black sapote. Yep, black sapote, not only growing in Melbourne, look at it. It's thriving in Melbourne. It's the happiest tree in my garden. Subtropical, rare, and incredible fruit that you can use in smoothies to get that chocolate effect. Now, where's the cold damage? Well, I've spent over an hour looking and I haven't been able to find one leaf affected by any cold damage or frost or freeze or anything. And believe me, I had we got temperatures down to 2 or 1 or 0. Yeah, we got 1, 0. We got a few 1s, a few 2s, many 3s, 4s and 5s and 6s. Over a month's worth. All right, in winter. For guys in America, I'm talking low 30s in the Fahrenheit, 30 to 35. And like I said, it's the best looking tree in my garden. And it's only been in the ground for 1 year. I planted it, not even 1 year. I planted it 6 months ago. However, I did raise it in a pot for almost 5 years. I wanted to be 100% certain that I wasn't gonna stuff it up because I already tried one in the ground 3 years ago and it died. Don't rush. Baby these in pots and then when they're big, like 5 years old, they're almost indestructible, unless you're very unlucky to get a hard freeze, which does happen. Even here in Melbourne, we'll get a hard freeze every 3 or 4 years. It'll drop down to -2. But during those 3 years, the tree is getting established and acclimated, so it would be able to handle a hard freeze for 1 day. Okay, that's the black sapote. 0 damage. It's a beast. You guys saw this in a previous video, collecting the custard apple. Well, I'm shooting this again just to show you that this tree also had almost 0 cold damage. This is a bit more sensitive than the Cherimoya that I showed before. So where's the damage? Well, not really damage, just leaf burn. It's going to drop anyway. These leaves are going to drop anyway. These yellow leaves are going to drop. So whether they're yellow and dropping or burnt and dropping, look, doesn't matter. They're on the way down. It's time to switch between seasons. So that's the custard apple with 0.1 damage. Yes, you can grow frost sensitive custard apples in Melbourne, and I showed you the fruit I picked yesterday. We're still waiting for it to ripen in the house. Be ready soon. Now this tree here is my most cold sensitive of all the fruit trees I have from the tropics. It's getting new shoots and ready to shoot out flowers soon, in about a week or 2. This, folks, is my oldest mango tree. It's about 4 years old, and these guys are really sensitive down here in the south, mainly because of our winters. If we didn't have those 3 months of cold nights, June is not so bad. The real cold comes in July, August. July, August is the killer. If we didn't have those 2 months, these guys would be doing as well as they do in Queensland. Yes, this one did get cold damage. It sure did. But not enough to kill it, and not enough to stop it from saying, "Hi, I'm back," and setting flowers. There's the damage there. See the tip? The wood? Damaged. Most of the tips are damaged. But out of that damage, you get new growth coming. Look. There's another damaged one there. Damage. But 99% of the tree, over 99% of the tree, is fine. It's actually shooting out. Look, everywhere. See those new shoots? Waking up, coming out of the damage. So by the end of spring, you won't even see any damage. Look at that. Hello. Yes, it hurt. Winter hurt my butt, but I'm coming back to life. And that's how it works with true tropicals in Melbourne. Someone asked me, can you grow what you grow in Melbourne in central Victoria? No, you can't. You can't grow this in central Victoria. No way. Unless in winter you take it into the house in a pot. Forget about putting it in the ground. Right? I've got this in the ground. And I have it protected with a brick garage from the neighbor, and a fence, and a pineapple guava tree, right? And another brick wall. So it's getting all this protection all around, and It's getting the northerly sun. It's getting the northerly sun all winter. And yet it was still damaged. Minor damage. Now if you're in Bendigo, Shepparton, Ballarat, I wouldn't be planting this in the ground. You can try, but I'm telling you, it won't survive. Okay, it's so nice, it's so refreshing actually to see a tropical fruit tree without any damage, like this one here. Look at this compared to the mango. What a champion. Of course, most people don't know what this is. I didn't know what this was either. This is a Brazilian cherry. That means a tropical cherry. So after we're done with our cherries at Christmas, the cold weather cherries, these guys take over. These cherries come in spring, they come in autumn. It's called Grumichama, the tree. Grumichama, I don't know if the label's still there. Oh, there it is. It's going to start flowering in a few weeks. And that's it there, Grumichama. That's what it looks like. From Brazil. And zero damage. Zero. Look. All winter, it had these beautiful leaves exposed, and not one of them turned yellow. Not even one. Amazing. Okay, time for the bananas. Yes, the answer is yes, they do get damaged. Mainly because of the wind, not so much the temperature. The wind is the biggest enemy of bananas, not only here in a temperate climate, but even in the tropics. Same thing, except in the tropics, the leaves will grow back and replace these smashed up ones. Sorry, not here in Melbourne. Nothing grows back in winter. Once you get this damage, it stays like that till spring. And then you get new shoots, new leaves replacing them. But in Darwin or Cairns, they're replaced immediately, right in the middle of winter. Bananas in Melbourne do not get new leaves in winter. Only spring to autumn. So yeah, it's a setback as far as the ornamental side of it. It's a bit ugly, but you can cut them down. I just let them go because they're too high up. These are my biggest bananas. They're huge, right down to the ground. Look at them, massive. And I did get a fruit rack too, but the problem with getting bananas in winter, not that you can't, you can, but when the blossom, the flower, opens in winter, the fruit that appears does not set full size. So you don't want this guy to come between well, you don't want him to come in autumn. You don't want these guys to come in autumn, because in winter you're going to get this, and you don't want bananas like that in winter. They're edible when they get, fully ripe, but they're small as your finger. They're tiny. That's the only issue with that. Now, ideally you want a banana blossom like that guy there to open now in spring and summer, not autumn. So that's the damage with the wind, not with the cold. The cold only affects the formation of fruit, which you just saw, and that's to be expected. Now, this blossom, banana blossom here, wasn't so affected by the cold because it opened in autumn, early autumn, like I think March, April. So the fruit did get a little bigger than the one I just showed you. So it's hard to see with the light, but the damage is the same to the leaves. See the leaves? Same. Not a big deal. I still get these bananas to come inside. They're a bit small, but that's okay. That's what happens when bananas grow or ripen over winter. This one here is not really tropical, but the reason I'm going to show you guys this tree is because, well, for a few reasons. One, who doesn't like mulberries? These mulberries are to die for. It's called a red shatut mulberry, basically red berries. Now, if you're in central Victoria, not too far from me, only 2 hours away by car, well, you're going to have a problem with this tree. Again, if you get a hard freeze in September, you're going to lose this tree. Goodbye. Even though it's not truly tropical. And the reason for that is because it wakes up early. This tree wakes up in early August, in winter. So it's an early variety mulberry. So I would categorize it as subtropical, because look, all this fruit, how's this fruit going to survive if I get a hard frost tonight, like -5, like you do in Bendigo or in Wangaratta? How are you going to get this tree to survive if you get -5 in Seymour or Benalla, Avoca? Forget it, goodbye. But we didn't get -5 in August, we got 0. So now, not a problem. We're going to enjoy all these mulberries next month, because the difference between 0 Celsius and -5 Celsius, very important. So the only way you can grow this in central Victoria is in a pot or under cover. Okay, just wanted to show that as well. And here's some more bananas. Not many on this rack, it's a tiny rack. But these guys were protected from the cold because I'm in a microclimate right now. It's called the banana circle, where I'm surrounded by all these bananas all around. So these got a little bigger over winter. And behind it is a curry leaf tree. And this guy survives winter no problem. Again, it's in a microclimate, and that really helps. In ground. It's only a year old. Well, I've had it for a year. I bought it quite established. I think it was already like 3 years old when I bought it. So curry tree, outdoors, no problem. In ground. Mountain papaya, not a problem. All winter. And again, mountain papaya. It's known as babako. No problem. No damage at all. The leaves drop, but they come back in the spring. These are in ground. All the way down. Almost 3 meters in height. And again, some more babako, mountain papaya here. Not a problem. We use these for green papaya replacement for cooking curry, as the tropical red papaya will not grow in Melbourne. Too cold. And here is the kaffir lime tree. I've had this one for almost 10 years, and it's grown to over 3 meters in height. Kaffir lime. I was told when I bought it, you can't grow this in Melbourne, it's too cold. Well, it's had no winter damage at all. None. 0. As easy to grow as mandarins and oranges. I was hoping to get this video into a half an hour, but oh well, it just went over. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate that, and welcome to the channel, all the new people, especially from the Melbourne vegetable and fruit patch. Special welcome to you. What you're looking at here is a macadamia tree, which is 4 meters high and almost 3 meters wide. I planted this 10-11 years ago. It only gave 1 nut or 2 nuts a couple of years back, and we're waiting now for a massive macadamia harvest someday. They take around 7 to 10 years to do that. So again, no winter damage at all. Zero. Not even one crooked leaf. In fact, it's getting new leaves now for spring. And over on the other side here, we have a blossom coming on one of the bananas. This is the best time to get a banana blossom in spring, because it's guaranteed to grow and ripen over summer for large fruit. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends, and we'll catch you with the next video. Thanks guys.